My wife drained our emergency fund to pay for her sister's dream wedding while I needed urgent surgery. She said, "You can wait, it's her special day." I filed for divorce from the hospital bed and sued her sister for theft. The wedding was canceled, and then original post I-35 male got diagnosed with a massive kidney stone 3 weeks ago. Not just any kidney stone, we're talking 8 millimeters, blocking my ureter, causing hydronephrosis. Translation: my kidney was swelling because urine couldn't drain, and without surgery within 2 weeks, permanent damage was likely. My urologist was clear: this needs to come out soon. The procedure costs around $12,000 with your insurance deductible. Schedule it ASAP. We had $15,000 in our emergency fund, separate savings account, both our names, but I'd contributed about 90% of it over 5 years. My wife, 33, made decent money but spent most of it. I was the saver. That fund was for emergencies like, urgent surgery. I told my wife that night, got the surgery scheduled for next Friday, costs $12,000, but we've got the emergency fund, should leave us with $3,000 buffer. She went pale, like absolutely white. "About that," she said. My stomach dropped. "About what?" "The emergency fund. I used it." Took me a second to process. "Used it? What do you mean used it?" My sister needed help with her wedding, the venue required the full payment up front, and she was short. It's her dream wedding. I couldn't let her down. I just stared. "You gave our emergency fund to your sister for a wedding." "Loaned. I loaned it to her. She'll pay us back after the honeymoon." "When's the wedding?" "Saturday, 2 weeks from now." "I need surgery next Friday, 6 days before her wedding." "Right, so that's actually perfect timing. You can wait until after the wedding, then she'll pay us back, and you can have the surgery the following week." I need you to understand something. I wasn't in minor discomfort. I was passing blood, having random fever spikes, pain that would drop me to my knees. My doctor had explicitly said waiting could cause permanent kidney damage. "I can't wait," I said slowly. "My kidney is failing." "It's not failing. You're being dramatic. It's just a stone. People deal with those all the time. My sister's wedding is a once-in-a-lifetime event. So is having functioning kidneys." She got defensive, told me I was being selfish, that family comes first, that her sister had been planning this wedding for 2 years and couldn't lose the venue deposit, that I was making everything about me. "How much did you give her?" I asked. $14,000. "You gave her $14,000? For a wedding? Without asking me?" "It's not giving, it's loaning, and I don't need your permission to help my family. It's our emergency fund. I need emergency surgery. You can wait 1 more week. Stop being so dramatic. It's her special day." That was Tuesday. By Thursday morning I was in the ER. Fever of 103, couldn't stop vomiting, back pain so intense I couldn't walk. They admitted me immediately. Sepsis. The infection from the blocked kidney had spread to my bloodstream. They did emergency surgery that night. Spent 3 days in ICU. My kidney was saved, barely. The bill, $47,000 before insurance. With insurance, $18,000 out of pocket because emergency care has different deductibles. My wife visited once. Brought me gas station flowers and said she was glad I was okay, but did I really need to be so dramatic about the timing? Her sister's wedding was in 2 days, and this was causing unnecessary stress for everyone. I asked where she thought we'd get $18,000. "We'll figure it out, payment plan or something. The important thing is, you're fine now. The important thing is you stole our emergency fund and nearly killed me." "I did not steal anything. I helped my sister. You're being absolutely ridiculous." A nurse gave me a look like, "Are you hearing this?" My wife left after 20 minutes. Said she needed to get to the rehearsal dinner. That's when I called a divorce attorney from my hospital bed. Initial consultation, explained everything. He didn't even sound surprised. "Do you have proof she took the money without your consent for a non-emergency purpose?" "Bank statements show the withdrawal. Text messages where she admitted it." "Did you contribute most of the funds?" "About 90%. Have deposit records going back 5 years." "And her sister, did she know this was your emergency medical fund?" My wife told her it was extra money we had saved, but I have texts where I told my wife explicitly it was for emergencies. We can file for divorce on grounds of financial infidelity and potentially sue the sister for conversion of funds if she knew or should have known the money wasn't freely given. Won't be cheap, but you've got a case. Do it. All of it. He emailed me the retainer paperwork. I signed it on my iPad from the hospital bed. Divorce filing went in Friday morning. I also had him draft a demand letter to the sister, return the $14,000 within 10 days, or face a lawsuit for conversion and fraud. My wife got served the divorce papers at her sister's wedding venue. Saturday afternoon. During the ceremony setup, my phone exploded. I was still in the hospital, still on IV antibiotics, still in pain. But I answered because I wanted to hear it. What the hell is wrong with you? My wife was screaming. You're filing for divorce? At my sister's wedding? You stole our emergency fund while I needed life-saving surgery, I said calmly. Yeah, I'm divorcing you. I didn't steal anything. I was helping my sister. And I'm helping myself out of a marriage with someone who values a party more than my life. This is sick. You're doing this to ruin her wedding. Actually, the timing is coincidental. The paperwork takes a few days to process. I filed Wednesday from my hospital bed while you were at the rehearsal dinner. Silence. You've been planning this? Since you told me to wait for surgery so your sister could have her special day. Yeah. I hate you. Cool. Your sister's getting served Monday. Demand letter for the 14 grand. She's got 10 days to return it or I'm suing her too. You can't do that. My lawyer says I can. Something about conversion of funds and fraud. He seemed pretty confident. She hung up, called back 3 minutes later. Different tone. Crying now. Please, please don't do this. We can fix this. I'll get the money back. I'll talk to her. Just please don't ruin her wedding. Her wedding's not my problem. My kidney damage is. My $18,000 hospital bill is. My broken marriage is. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I'll make it right. You told me to wait for surgery. While I was passing blood, while my kidney was failing, you chose a party over my health. We're done. But I love you. You love your sister's wedding more. That's been made extremely clear. Hung up. Blocked her number. Told the nurses not to let her visit. 3 days later I got discharged. Staying with my brother while I recover. Divorce is proceeding. Sister's wedding is tomorrow. Pretty sure it's not happening though. Why? Because when venues find out there's a lawsuit pending over their payment, they tend to put holds on everything until it's resolved. My attorney is very thorough. Update 1, 2 weeks later. The wedding didn't happen. Not exactly. See, when my attorney sent that demand letter to my sister-in-law, can I still call her that? On Monday, she panicked. Called the venue immediately asking if they'd gotten any weird legal letters. They had. My attorney had CC'd them on the demand letter. Professional courtesy to inform them the payment for their services was subject to a legal dispute. Venue put an immediate hold on everything. No setup, no service, no nothing until the payment issue was resolved to the satisfaction of all parties. Their contract apparently had a clause about disputed payments. My sister-in-law called my wife, absolutely losing it. My wife called me using her mom's phone. Still had her blocked. You need to drop this. Right now. The venue won't let her have the wedding. That's unfortunate, I said. Maybe she should return the $14,000 she took from a medical emergency fund. She spent it. The deposits are non-refundable. She can't get it back. Sounds like a her problem. You're ruining her life. She helped ruin my kidney. We're even. My wife started crying. Please, she's my baby sister. This is her dream. Can't you just let this go? Can you ungive me sepsis? Can you unrisk my kidney failure? No? Then no, I can't let this go. She tried the guilt trip. She didn't know you were that sick. I told her it was just a routine procedure. So you lied to her about stealing our emergency fund. That's not making this better. I didn't steal. Yeah, you did. And now you're both dealing with consequences. Welcome to adulthood. The wedding got postponed. Sister-in-law managed to negotiate with the venue. They'd hold the date for 90 days if she could prove the payment was legitimate. Meaning, if the lawsuit got dropped, not happening. But here's where it got really entitled. My mother-in-law called. Actually got through because I didn't recognize her number. You need to stop this nonsense immediately. Hello to you too. My daughter is devastated. Her sister is hysterical. You're destroying this family over money. Over $14,000 that was stolen from me while I needed emergency surgery. Yeah, it wasn't stolen, it was borrowed. Family helps family. Then family should have helped with my medical bills instead of a party. A wedding is not just a party, it's a sacred commitment. So is marriage. Your daughter violated that when she prioritized her sister's wedding over my life. You're being vindictive and cruel. She made a mistake, and I'm making sure mistakes have consequences. If you don't drop this lawsuit, you'll what? Sue me? Go ahead. I've got bank records, text messages, and medical documentation. My attorney would love the extra billable hours. She sputtered. You're supposed to be family. Family doesn't let family go into septic shock for a wedding venue deposit. Hung up. Block that number 2. My wife, meanwhile, has been staying with her sister. They're splitting a 1-bedroom apartment because neither can afford anything else now. My wife's paychecks are going to credit cards she maxed out trying to fix the situation, paying vendors who won't refund, covering her sister's rent, etc. She tried to access our joint checking account, found out I'd already been to the bank. My attorney advised me to immediately remove my portion and close my access. Can't drain a joint account completely in most states without consequences, but I took my 50% out and moved it to a new account in my name only. Left her half untouched. She called it financial abuse. My attorney called it protecting assets during divorce proceedings. Judge will ultimately decide, but probably won't look favorably on the person who already drained the emergency fund. The divorce is proceeding fast. No kids, no shared property. Apartment lease is in my name only. She moved in after we married, just need to split some assets. Her attorney is pushing for spousal support. My attorney is pushing for reimbursement of the stolen emergency fund. We'll see who wins. But the real drama happened this week. My sister-in-law showed up at my brother's house, where I'm staying. No idea how she got the address. I was on the couch watching TV, still recovering, when my brother answered the door. Is he here? I need to talk to him. My brother, who are you? His wife's sister. I need to talk to him. It's important. My brother looked back at me. I shook my head. He started closing the door. She stuck her foot in it. Wait, please, just 5 minutes. Lady, you need to leave. I'll give the money back. Just drop the lawsuit, please. That got my attention. I stood up, slowly, still sore. You'll give back the full $14,000? Yes. Well, mostly. I can give back $8,000 right now. The rest over 6 months. So no, you can't give it back. I'm trying, but the lawsuit is ruining everything. The venue won't work with me. My fiancé's family is asking questions. His mother thinks I'm financially irresponsible. You took $14,000 that wasn't yours for a wedding. You are financially irresponsible. I didn't know it was your medical money. Your wife said it was just extra savings. And you didn't question why someone would loan you $14,000 of extra money, interest-free? She teared up. I thought she was being generous. I thought you guys were well off. We were, until you took our emergency fund. I'll pay you back, I promise. Just drop the lawsuit. Kyle, you just said you can only give me $8,000 now. Where's the other $6,000 coming from? My fiancé's helping, and my parents, and I'll get a second job. Your fiancé? The guy you're trying to marry? He knows about this? He's being really understanding. He knows it was a mistake. Does he know your sister let her husband go into septic shock to pay for your venue? Her face crumbled. That's not, she didn't mean. Yeah, she did. She explicitly told me I could wait for surgery until after your wedding, in those exact words. I'm sorry, I didn't know. None of this was supposed to happen like this. But it did. So here we are. What do you want from me? The $14,000, today, in full. Then I'll consider dropping the lawsuit. I don't have it. Then I guess the lawsuit continues. My medical bills don't care about your wedding timeline either. She left crying. My brother closed the door and turned to me. That was cold. She helped put me in the hospital. She didn't know. Doesn't matter. Actions have consequences. He didn't argue. Just grabbed me a beer. 2 days ago, my wife's attorney sent over a settlement proposal. She wants 50% of all marital assets, fair, 50% of my retirement account, I'll probably lose this, $2,000 a month spousal support for 2 years. Yeah, no. Me to drop the lawsuit against her sister. Absolutely not. Split the medical bills 50-50. Hilarious considering she caused them. My attorney's counter. 50% of marital assets minus the $14,000 stolen from emergency fund. She pays back her half of the emergency fund, $7,000. Since she had equal access and responsibility. No spousal support due to financial infidelity. She pays 75% of the medical bills since her actions directly caused the emergency. Lawsuit against sister continues regardless of divorce settlement. We're headed for court. Neither side is budging. My attorney says I'll probably end up somewhere in the middle. Might have to give her some retirement. Probably won't get spousal support. Medical bills might split 50-50. But the emergency fund theft is well documented, so that's solid. The lawsuit against the sister, though? That's separate from the divorce. That's going forward no matter what. Her attorney sent a letter asking to settle, offering $8,000 paid over 12 months. My attorney responded, $14,000 plus interest and legal fees paid in full within 30 days, or see you in court. Their response, our client cannot meet those terms. My attorney's response, then prepare for trial. Trial date got set for 8 weeks from now. Small claims court has a $10,000 limit in my state, so we're going to district court. More expensive for both of us, but I want the full amount plus damages. My soon-to-be ex-wife sent one final text from yet another number before I blocked it. I hope you're happy. You've destroyed everything. I replied, you destroyed my kidney. I just destroyed your sister's wedding timeline. Still think I came out worse? Update 2, 6 weeks later. Court was yesterday. Both the divorce hearing and the lawsuit against my sister-in-law happened same week. Different judges, absolute chaos. Divorce first, because that wrapped up faster. Judge was a woman in her 60s, looked tired, probably seen everything. Both attorneys presented their cases. My wife's attorney painted me as vindictive, cruel, punishing my wife for trying to help family. Showed text messages where I'd been cold and unforgiving. My attorney showed the bank statements, medical records, texts where my wife admitted taking the money, texts where she told me to wait for surgery, my hospital bills, documentation of sepsis. Judge read through everything. Looked up at my wife. Mrs., did you withdraw $14,000 from your joint emergency fund to pay for your sister's wedding? Yes, but did your husband need emergency surgery at the time? It wasn't an emergency. He was being, ma'am, I have medical records here indicating septic shock and emergency surgery to save his kidney. That is by definition an emergency. Did you know he needed surgery? Yes, but the wedding was... I don't care about the wedding. Did you withdraw marital funds for a non-emergency purpose while your husband faced a medical emergency? My wife started crying. I was trying to help my sister. That's not what I asked. Yes, she whispered, but I was going to pay it back. Judge looked unimpressed. When? After the wedding. My sister was going to... Your sister, not you. You took $14,000 and expected someone else to repay it? Silence. Judge reviewed the proposals again. Here's what's going to happen. Marital assets split 50-50, except the emergency fund contribution. Mr. contributed approximately $13,000 of that fund over 5 years. Mrs. contributed approximately $1,000. Mrs. will repay her equitable share of the emergency fund that was withdrawn $7,000 to be deducted from her share of marital assets. No spousal support. Each party pays their own legal fees. Medical bills split 60-40, with Mrs. paying 60% due to her direct contribution to the emergency that caused them. My wife's attorney objected. Judge shut her down. Your client took emergency money while her husband needed emergency care. She gambled that it wouldn't be a real emergency. She lost that gamble. These are consequences. My attorney looked pleased. I just felt tired. My wife left the courthouse without looking at me. Her attorney looked annoyed. I got 60% of marital assets, small amount, we didn't have much, kept my full retirement, and she owes me about $3,500 after everything shakes out. Plus she's stuck with 60% of my medical bills, about $11,000. Divorce finalized. Done. Over. The lawsuit was 2 days later. Sister-in-law showed up with her fiancé. He looked miserable. She looked like she'd been crying for 6 weeks straight. Probably had been. Her attorney tried to argue she had no knowledge the money was from a medical emergency fund. therefore no fraud. My attorney showed text messages between my wife and her sister, where my wife said, "Don't worry about paying it back right away, take your time," proving my wife intended it as a gift, not a loan, without my consent. Also showed that the sister had texted my wife asking, "Is my name okay with this?" My wife had responded, "He will be once he sees how happy you are." So you did question whether the money was freely given? Sister-in-law, I just wanted to make sure. But you accepted it anyway despite your concerns? My sister said it was fine. Your sister who didn't have sole ownership of the funds. Did you attempt to verify with the other account holder? No, but... So you took $14,000 from a joint account without confirming both parties consented? Her attorney jumped in with some technical argument about married couples and shared assets. Judge wasn't having it. Community property doesn't mean one spouse can unilaterally gift marital funds without the other's knowledge, especially when those funds were designated for a specific purpose. The plaintiff has documentation showing the emergency fund was explicitly discussed between spouses as untouchable except for emergencies. Defendant's sister violated that agreement. Defendant accepted funds she had reason to believe might not be freely given. That's conversion. Ruled in my favor. $14,000 plus court costs and 6% annual interest from the date of withdrawal. Total, $14,340. Sister-in-law burst into tears. Her fiancé put his head in his hands. Judge ordered payment plan, $400 a month until paid in full, starting immediately. Garnishment of wages if she misses payments. Her attorney asked for 30 days to appeal. Judge said sure, but payments start regardless. If they win appeal, I refund the money. If they don't, she keeps paying. They're not appealing. Can't afford it. Outside the courthouse, the fiancé approached me. Sister-in-law was still crying with her attorney. "This is going to bankrupt her," he said. "She took $14,000 that wasn't hers. She didn't know it was your medical money. She didn't ask. Not my problem. We're supposed to get married next month. Small ceremony, courthouse thing. Can't even afford that now. Shouldn't have spent $14,000 on a venue you couldn't afford." He got angry. "You got your judgment? You won. Can't you just let this go?" "Why would I?" "Because you're ruining our lives." "She helped ruin my kidney. Your fiancé's sister nearly killed me. I spent 3 days in ICU. I have permanent kidney damage. I'm still in pain. I'll be paying medical bills for years. But sure, I'm the bad guy for wanting my money back." He didn't have a response. Just walked back to his fiancée. "My wife texted me from her mom's phone. I blocked it immediately after. I hope you're proud of yourself. My sister is devastated. Her fiancé is having second thoughts. You've destroyed her life." I didn't respond, but if I had, I'd have said, "She destroyed my kidney. I just destroyed her wedding budget. Fair trade." Update 3. Final update. It's been 3 months since the court rulings. Time for a final update, because people keep asking. The $400 a month payments started. Sister-in-law has been making them, barely. She got a second job. Her fiancé left her. Apparently finding out his future bride had taken $14,000 without permission and gotten sued for it was a deal breaker. Who knew financial responsibility mattered in relationships? Last I heard, she's living with her and my ex-wife in that one-bedroom apartment. 2 grown women in a one-bedroom. My ex-wife's mom is apparently also crashing there sometimes when she needs a break from her husband. Sounds cozy. My ex-wife paid her portion of the settlement. Took 3 payments, but she got there. The $11,000 medical bill portion, though? She's on a payment plan with the hospital. $200 per month for the next 4.5 years. Hope her sister's wedding memories are worth it. She tried to reach out twice since the divorce finalized. Once through a mutual friend asking if we could talk like adults. I told the friend we did talk like adults, in court, with lawyers. Very adult. Second time she showed up at my new apartment. How she got my address? No idea. Probably her mom. I didn't answer the door. Just called the police non-emergency line and said my ex-wife was trespassing. Cop showed up, explained I could file for a restraining order if she kept showing up. She left. Haven't heard from her since. The medical situation. My kidney has permanent damage. About 40% function loss in the affected kidney. The other one's fine and I can live a normal life with 1.5 kidneys. But it's still damage that wouldn't have happened if I'd gotten the surgery when originally scheduled instead of going septic. My doctor was blunt. The delay probably cost you half a kidney's function. It was a preventable outcome. Cool. At least my sister-in-law got to tour her dream venue before losing it. The financial situation, I'm okay, not great. The divorce and lawsuit weren't cheap. My attorney fees were about $8,000 total. Got some back through the settlement, but still out about $5,000. The medical bills are on payment plans, about $7,200 left after insurance and the settlement, making $300 a month payments. But I kept my retirement, my income, and my self-respect. Could be worse. Work's been understanding. I had to take medical leave during the worst of it, but I'm back full-time now. Boss knows the whole story. Called my ex-wife a piece of work and bought me lunch. Good guy. The apartment is small, but it's mine. Just signed a year lease, 1 bedroom, but it's all I need. Got a cat, named him Kidney. My sense of humor's gotten dark. Dating? No, not even close. The trust issues are real. Last relationship ended with my wife stealing my medical money for her sister's party. Gonna need some time before I try that again. Therapy's helping though. Started going after the divorce finalized. Therapist says I have every right to be angry. Also says I need to work on not letting this define me. We're working on it. The family situation. My ex-wife's family hates me. Blocked me on everything. Fine by me. My family thinks I did the right thing. My brother still lets me vent when needed. My parents were horrified when they found out what happened. They'd liked my ex-wife until the kidney stone incident. Now my mom refers to her as that woman who tried to kill you. Bit dramatic, but I appreciate the support. The sister-in-law's situation. She's apparently engaged again. New guy. Met him at her second job. Moving fast. Her first payment is coming up on month 4. Only $13,940 left to go. Hope he knows what he's getting into. My ex-wife's situation. Still blaming me for everything. According to mutual friends who still talk to both of us. Why, I don't know. She tells everyone I sued her sister over a loan and destroyed their family over money and abandoned her when she needed support. The irony is painful. But that's her narrative to live with. Someone asked me if I regret how I handled this. If I'd do anything differently. Honest answer? Maybe I'd have separated our finances sooner. Maybe I'd have been more explicit about the emergency fund being untouchable. Maybe I'd have seen the red flags about her putting her family above our marriage. But filing for divorce from the hospital bed? Suing her sister? No regrets there. They made choices. I made choices. The courts agreed my choices were justified. You don't get to steal someone's medical money and expect them to just forgive and forget because family. You don't get to tell your spouse to delay life-saving surgery for a party. You don't get to prioritize a wedding over your husband's kidney. And when you do those things, you don't get to play victim when there are consequences. The wedding that never happened, cough a kidney, $8,000 in legal fees, a marriage, and probably my ability to trust people for a while. But I got my self-respect back, and $14,340 in court-ordered payments. Still think I came out worse? Because I don't. I'm living alone with a cat named Kidney, making medical payments, going to therapy, and sleeping fine at night, knowing I stood up for myself when it mattered. My ex-wife is living in a 1-bedroom apartment with her sister and occasionally her mother, making her own medical payments for the emergency she caused. Dealing with the fact that her choice to prioritize her sister's wedding over my health ended her marriage. Her sister is making $400 a month payments to me, lost her fiancé, working 2 jobs, and never got the dream wedding she bankrupted herself for. Sometimes the consequences of your actions are exactly as bad as you deserve. Sometimes standing up for yourself means everyone thinks you're the villain. And sometimes that's okay. I'm done with this chapter. Time to move forward with Kidney and a much better understanding of what not to tolerate in relationships. Final thought. If someone tells you to wait for emergency surgery so their sister can have a wedding, divorce them from the hospital bed. It'll save you time. Update over. Moving on now.